All right, you guys, we got another live stream. Please share, subscribe. We gotta, you know, get into this video. God's judgment on America's warning. You know, 6,000 years. Devil been on this planet. There's been one war. And you have to understand this announcement. Because brothers and sisters, you don't have another 15, 20 years. If you think, brothers and sisters, that this event is so far off, if you think you got another 10, 15, 20 years on this earth, well, I'm here to say, brothers, the fall of America is within a few days, and you're going to have to prepare for the great aftermath. Because the worst is yet to come. Now, God's judgment on America is a warning. And now I want to talk to you about Trump. Because we got to get on him. See, a term has come, brothers and sisters. And what Trump is doing, signing these mass executive orders. And I want you to read between the lines here, because he's going to cut down a lot of things. Public assisting housing, Section 8. When you start realizing it's happening in 15 states, brothers and sisters, people are not going to be given a 30-day notice. Those Section 8 vouchers is going to vanish. RIC food stamps. So my question, what's the whole purpose that Trump is going into the Middle East? And why he's trying to go shake things up in the Middle East? This is not about bringing jobs back into the United States, brothers. This is about tightening the food chain, as you see. Tariff wars. And they put it right in your face. They slamming it right in the black communities, in the hair salons. Yes, in the black hair salons. So now, I think that we all tired of this game playing. You know, America would just have to do justice by us, or just let us go. You know, I want to say they had me on mute the other day on a live, but you know, I want to say America is in trouble. And I want to say God is going to right this nation from the face of this earth. Now listen, listen. I'm not crazy and I'm not drunk. But how long do you think that America that can do evil and not face the judgment and wrath of God? You see, they asked me this morning about the president morality. Well, how you feel about the president that's moral? Well, I said, what kind of president that we ever had that was moral? You see, I said the founding fathers of this nation were slaveholders. You see, they raped black women and gave them babies, but never of their own children. You know, when they framed the Constitution, there was never thinking of sex as a high crime and misdemeanor. The president disgraced the overall office of what he did with Monica Lewinsky. I said there was murder in this overall office. We seen the killing of kings and rulers. You see, they nations and their governments was heads and outlaws and masters of assassinators. So when has this overall office, ever been a moral place? So, brothers and sisters, if my words frighten you, then wait till I finish. Today, many people play with God. They want God to be all loving and merciful. And yes, He loves us all right. But He kills people out of His love for righteousness. And He hates us when we refuse to bow down and submit ourselves for His mercy before it's too late. Now, how many of us have some good parents? You had that good mother, a good father, warn somebody, warn a loved one. It says, hey, look now, you're doing wrong. Now, please change from your behavior. And then all of a sudden, my brothers and sisters, you get a notice in the mail that they was dead. At least you can say, I tried all that I can. And when the young brother sing you that very sad song, he done all that he can to warn you that death has now entered into America. You see, one disaster after another. And all my brothers and sisters, get a grip. Now, what do you think this rain is? Now, what do you think these winds is? Now, what do you think the unusual rain, the unusual storms, the violent winds, and pestilence? You see, famine is here. And more famine is on its way. And Mickey D's won't be able to give you a burger. And the Bible says you just look at your own fat children. Very strange. Now, America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah, God. Now, the judgment of America has come. The great dreadful days we see of the Lord has now come to America. The lands and people who worship evil. We see robbery, murder, rape, famine, decease, are the orders of the days in America. If there is anything like a God of righteousness, if there is anything like God of truth, should not he raise himself up and take his place and put an end to such evil as now going on in America? People cannot walk the streets of America today without subjecting themselves to robbery, murder, or rape. See, America is a wicked land. See, everyone is against the other. See, righteousness, justice, and thought are despised and fought against, regardless to a clear knowledge of God's hourly punishment and destruction of America by his divine pledge of storms. But this is as it is written of America in the book of Revelation. In the Bible, they continued their evil ways and did blaspheme to God, who has power over the pledges. They hated the name of Allah. They hated the name of his messengers. But nevertheless, that does not stop the judgment and destruction of America. Look at the wicked devil in Alabama. They are against us while we are trying to be at peace with them. But there is no peace in them. We have done nothing to them. See, they are against us just because the idea that we are Muslims, black people. See, the white man have his way of ruling the black people for so long that he thinks that he still has the power to do so. While in reality, we see the white man has come to an end of his time of power to rule the black people, because a term has come and a term is up, and you see these Decepticons going to do anything to send hard tasks. See, Pharaoh refused to let the people go, so they're going to tighten the chain. See, regardless, my brothers and sisters, to Allah's God's retaliation to this white man for his evil act done to this black man. See, the white man still keeps inviting this retaliation of Allah God. See, the white man must remember that he cannot win today over Allah God and his servants, for he has power. See, this is the judgment of America. See, the judgment of America. See, judgment have come to you, America. And whom to you who seeks to fight against Allah God and against his aim and purpose. Whom to you, America, Allah God has made you blind to his judgment. Therefore, you are committing suicide. He has made you blind on purpose to give you the full dose of his wrath. When a man does not know the danger of fire, then he can fall headlong into it. America has mistreated the black man for 400 years. She does not think that there is ever a God who accept her black slave and return on her head the injustice done to her black slave. This is the day and time in which America could benefit from what Allah God have revealed to me. and from the work that I'm doing amongst my black people, turning them from doing the evil into righteousness, as it is written in the Bible, Babylon could have been healed, and there was a possible chance for healing if she had not gone to the extreme by making fun of the God of the Jews and their temple in Jerusalem and belittling the power of the God of the Jews to retaliate. The Bible prophesies of the pledge that will come upon America, and these pledges are falling on America now. And yet, she will not repent. For America continue to kill and deprive the black one slave of righteousness and justice. Even though the black slave wants to go from America, she wants to hold on to him. America does not want to let her black slave go. America holds the black slave for a prey, whom to America her days has arrived. Now see, her days has arrived. See, she will not heed the warning now. They are so deaf, arrogant people. They will not heed the warning. I beg her to just let us be separate from her on little territory and a state to ourselves, and to let us be responsible for our own survival, only to get out from under her injustice. But she refused. So you see, it was with Pharaoh in the time of Moses. God went down to Egypt to make Israel and the enemies, the Egyptians, an example for future people, so that this may serve as a warning of what we see going on in America today. The four great judgments that Allah God promised to destroy America, which are now coming upon her. We see hail, snow, drought, earthquakes. Allah God have reserved his treasure of snow and ice to be used against this wicked country of America in the days of battle and war. These are some of Allah God's weapons, the storms that we see going on. And you do not have to wait. Don't let it be 10, 15, 20 years. The fall, you see, is within a few days. See, the white man of America is not blind and ignorant. He had known these prophecies of his doom for a long time before we knew it. For a white man translate the Bible. He knows what he puts in his translation of that, which was written in the Bible. See, the judgment of America. You see, judgment have come to you, America. All love and respect this wicked have gone from them. See, they do not love each other nor respect each other. You see, they have pulled off their clothes and disgraced themselves. See, this is also a pledge. You see, some of these white people rehearsing the cage days of their fathers, and they are not ashamed to do so. You see, they come out with long, straggly hair, as their fathers did in the days of their cage. This is Allah God forcing this white man to bear him witness that they really wants the caveman. Yet, a few foolish, unlearned black people follow the white man. It is a shame to pull off their clothes and grow hair down their backs and over their face by misleading the black man into falling ways, the white man cage days. The white man is again telling the world how he has deceived the black man, is now making this black man manifest that he is just too weak to seek his own. For nearly 40 years, I have been preaching to this black man in America that we should accept on, instead of this black man going to the decent side of his own. He goes back seeking transitional Africa and the way they did in the jungle life, and the way you see in uncivilized parts of Africa today. They are not using barbed tools, sneers, razors to keep themselves looking identified as a civilized people should look. The black man in America accept the jungle life thinking that they will get the love of black Africa. Black brothers and black sisters wearing savage dress and hairstyles will not get you the love of Africa. The identified people of Africa are neither Muslims or educated Christians. You see, but Africa today does not want Christianity. Do not think that you would get a home in Africa after this war if you are a Christian. To get a home in Africa after a war, you have to be a Muslim. See, this judgment of America, see, she is made manifest as it is written in the Bible. We see Revelation. She's a cage to every unclean and hateful bird, every unclean and hateful human being. She is very hateful today, brothers. She is not to be trusted. America, America, you see, your days have come. For the evil done to your black slave. America, you cannot repay that evil with another evil of trying to tempt this black slave by offering them your white women's. That does not help you in this day, but it does condemn you as being a double crosser, that you will even offer your black one slave, your girls and women, to do with them as they please, if they will just follow you. The judgment of America. Babylon could have been healed, but she was not healed. America just beginning to experience sorrows, mourning, grief, and distrust for anger of God and man. According to both the Holy Quran we see in the Bible, there will be plenty more of the same. In these two books, one can easily find everything foretold that is happening today. The time will grow so terrible some that according to the Holy Quran, children will become gravehead. According to the Bible, great heart failures will become a disease upon the people who have the anger of God, the American people. The fourth beast we see in the Revelation of John in the Bible, and which Daniel described as a very dreadful, well-armed beast, who working art that of death upon the weak, refers to America. She had no respect for the poor, the unfortunate now. She had no respect. See, Trump has no respect for the American people. Why you think they signing in these executive orders now? Y'all got to peep the play, man. They signed executive orders to cut down public assistance housing, cut down vouchers in 15 states. This is going on. You're not going to be given a 30-day notice. You have to prepare for stuff like this. Why he's going to the Middle East? For investments, technology, and stocks and trades? But all her trades going to be cut off in a single day, in a single hour, in a single year. See, brothers, what I want to say to you, you don't have to wait so long, because the doing of justice today will have checked her fall. We don't have 10, 15, 20 years. The fall is within a few days. You have to prepare in the next year or so, because you don't have long. Start getting your house in order. Start getting your food supply. Start getting these things in order, because people were saying this long ago. Start getting these things in order, because this is the great, dreadful times of America. She has no respect for the poor or the unfortunate. See, Daniel's description of a rib between the teeth of the beast is the references to this ill treatment, subjection, and ruthless behavior by the devil to our people. This America Latins the poor with heavy sentences. You see, long prison terms. Refuse to let them go free. This is due to our heartlessness and lack of compassion for the black man of America. See, this beast white man lies and waits around this black man homes and prowls the streets at night and wait for an excuse to wreak his ruthlessness on his poor prey, the black man. If the black man raised a hand to protect and defend himself, he is shot dead, is unable to defend himself against false charges. This Beast keeps our people in sorrow and unhappiness by depriving them of equal opportunity. The black man wages are calculated by white wicked accountants, preventing the so-called Negro from saving by skyrocketing and the views of the poor, the prices of the necessary of life. This white beast persecute, imprison, and kill those who preach freedom and justice for the poor, so-called Negro. The white man does not want the so-called Negro to leave America, but she would not divide the spoil of America, the country which she has taken by the force or arm and killing its owners, the Indians, with them. This beast set up evil to be allies as the God. She discussed good for evil. She covered the earth with filth, making it fascinating, so that man will bow down and worship evil for good. She set brothers against brother for a joy, and then she kills both of them, whom to America, the murderers and deceivers of the people. The God of justice and truth have pronounced a judgment against you, and by no means will you escape. You have made mockery of him, God, and his people, and his words, the truth. You have been judged and found wanting to the so-called American Negro. The lost are now found members of the black nation of the earth. Come unite with Allah and me. Go to your own. You won't have to go anywhere if you only unite with your own. Heaven awaits you wherever you may. And when her city is on fire, this is a sign, my brothers and sisters, that this is a sign for them that the end is coming to this world. So when the cities are set on fire, this is a sign of the end of you that's in power. So America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. The four great judgment that Almighty Allah God is bringing upon America we see are rain, hail, snow, earthquakes, fire. We see them now covering all sides of America as the Holy Quran prophesies, curtain her on all her sides. And the judgment will push the people into the center of the country. And they will realize that it's Allah God who is bringing them in a country to a nothing. Job in the Bible prophesies that Allah God has his snow and ice to use as his weapons in the days of war and battle against the wicked. We hear and read in the newspaper today of how great hill-like little mountains of snow are pushing down from the north. And not only in the northern states, we see Minnesota, the North and South Dakota, Montana. But now the snow is in the New England states, and they are declared to be disaster areas. The announcer of disaster snow in the New England states says that there have never been such great quantity of snow all up and down the coast to the Carolinas. The rain takes up, but the snow leaves off. We see all around the southern borders of America, storms are raging. There are tornadoes, which means polar tornadoes, and heavy rain. And we see more storms on the way, one right after another. In the north and far west and the east, see America surrounded with the judgment of Allah, God. There are earthquakes and the seas is raging. The Pacific Ocean now angry and raging and tossing up great waves as never before. Now, Jesus says in Luke 21, 25, 26, that seas and ocean will rise into a perplexity that man never seen before. Now, why, brothers and sisters, should these things hit America? The Revelation teach you why. It's because America is filled with devils and has such unclean persons living in America. That is true under hateful birds. See, every filthy, shameless, wicked person comes here for a haven where he can do any wickedness he wants to do. And the country opens and welcomes that type of person. And as we see, the few little Muslims, whose Muslim names means those who have submitted to the will of Allah God. How enemy hates us and seeks to do all the evil he possibly can against us by falsehood. These are not the days of Noah, Lot, and Abraham, nor are these the days of Moses. These are new times. See, the enemy does not get away in punishing the righteous just because he hates them. Allah, the God of righteousness, is with us. And he just laughs at those who try to fight against him. He has destroyed a whole nation with less than the power of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. Holy Quran has that record of people even being destroyed. So Allah God does not have to have something great. He does not have to go to work and get a block of iron or a mountain and throw it on them. He used that which is with you, against you. The force of nature are great weapons as we see them in play upon America. See, storms after storms of snow and ice are rolling in from the north and are pushing great drift that are just covering up everything. What can you do with a God like that? Job prophesies that Allah God has his weapons stored up to use in the days of battle and war with the wicked. He just takes some snow and cover them up. The Holy Quran says that Allah God destroyed people with just cold wind. He froze them. Do you think that you can get away with fighting Allah God? No wonder the second psalm says that he will sit in the heaven and laugh at those who are trying to fight against him. He'll have you crazy. It is true. See, the heads of the governments of this Christian world are confused. And they do not know that they are confused. Why? Because their great desire was to confuse us. Now, Allah God has taken confusion out of us and put it into them. Eat, America. Help yourself to the desert that you have prepared for us. You eat it now. See, all praise are due to Allah God, who came in the person of Master Allah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. We went to Alabama and to any states that we go to. We pay a high price per acre of land that our father labor has already brought for us. Now he wants to kill us if we act humble and peaceful and want to buy back some of our own labors. See, I laugh at some of these things that are here coming out of Alabama. And not only in Alabama, but every other state in union. They do not know the time in which they are living. Allah God is well able to take the country from you and give it to whom he pleases. It is in your Bible. Read it for yourself. He took the kingdom from the wicked and gave it to whom he pleases, those who will bring people into righteousness. America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. We see the four great judgment of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, and the confusion and the head of states. The four great judgment of America, to be pledged with too much rain, will destroy properties and lives. It swells the creeks and rivers. We see too much rain floods cities and towns. It swells rivers and creeks. We see large bodies of water at the ocean shoreline will be made to swell with unusual highways, dumping billions of tons of water over the now sea shoreline. See rain destroy properties, kill cattle by drowning them in lowlands. See rain destroy the hiding places of victorious beasts, reptiles, bringing up out fighting in small towns and people homes and farms. See, rain weakens and destroys railroads, truck lines, bed, and bridges. Rain undermines foundation of all types of buildings. Rains make the atmosphere too heavy with moisture, causing sickness. Wind with rain can bring destruction to towns and cities, bringing various germs, causing sickness to the people. It produces unclean water by the swelling stream and destroying a pure drinking water used for the health of the people. Rain is a destructive army with itself. Hailstorms are also a property and life destroyer. Snow is the most dreaded pledge when it comes in great drift from 5 to 35 feet. It buries your property and lives. It destroys your highways and cities and gravel towns and cities. It put a great burden of expanse upon the cities. It put a great burden expanse upon the cities to repair it. We see the cage in or roofs of homes. We see the cutting off of homes, the cutting off of transportation. Isolation areas bring about the starvation. Communication destroyed with the icing of the communication wires. Snow looks pretty because of its clean look. See, almost everything in nature is beautiful, but it can be turned into death and destruction against man. Snow is prophesied to be one of the weapons that God will use against the wicked of America. Job 38:22 and 23. Hell also is mentioned in the same two verses when God plainly tells us that he has preserved it against the time of trouble, against the days of battle and war. The Holy Quran also teaches us that God used snow, rain, wind, hail, earthquakes, and fire against former wicked people. Is America any better than the people we read about in the history that God destroys? No, she is not as good. These people was not as wicked as the American people. The earthquake can destroy towns and cities instantly. See, America is in the grip of divine judgment. See, America is in a position towards a one slave, so-called, as Pharaoh was with Israel as his slave. She is in this position because of the injustice done to the American so-called Negro slave brought to America over 400 years ago, refused to let them go free. They only said that you are free, knowing within that you are not able to lead them without anything. But the injustice continued to increase. Now they plan death. So this God was predicted by the prophet to come to the defense of this people, the so-called Negro, in the last days after they served the enemy for 400 years. The Bible declared to Abraham in Genesis that God would judge the people to whom his people Abraham would be in bondage. This does not mean Israel. This means the present black people, the members of the black nation who have and are fulfilling the prophecy. God and the person of Master Fard Muhammad will not be defeated. See, the more evil, deceiving, tricking, making false promises, an American so-called Negro only increases America's divine chastisement doom. America knows there are trouble lies and her mistreatment of the black man, the so-called Negro. But she is too wicked to give up tricking the Negro and deceiving him on false promises. She just cannot stop. The opportunity is to open. She thinks that there is no one to hinder her. But God has chosen us to be his people. And he is delighting in fighting the enemy. According to the history of the former people, he delighted himself by going forth against them when they extended the limit. So it is with America. They must be separate. America will not agree to see the Negro separate from her until she has suffered divine punishment as Pharaoh suffered the same things the other evil nations suffered before them is coming upon this people. She seeks to keep her slave robbed of opportunity and wealth. She envied success coming to the American Negro free slave. She charged them high prices to keep them down, to deceive them through a few of what we call Uncle Toms in the political circle, class, and all professional classes. She offered them little favoritism to help her work against their own people, the black people. But they too would suffer along with the enemy of justice, of the poor so-called Negro. They must be separate. Envy and hatred are going between the two people, regardless of their preaching of social integration. The truth must come. What is better than a program you find I have written, you two blacks and whites cannot get along in peace, since you have never got along in peace. Do you know why? The white Americans does not like to talk with you about the separation, and why he calls separation of the two people the wrong solution for peace between the people. He knows that it is promised it and that God will do it. Then why do they not agree with separating themselves from you and me and we from them? Why are the black man and white man all over the earth now in disagreement with each other to live in peace? Do you know why? Oh, foolish American so-called Negro, seek some of this earth that you can call your own and live on in peace. Unite and ask the government for a portion of America. This is what we need, somewhere to live to ourselves. Let the white man live to himself. The two people are not brothers. They are aliens to each other. See, God did not make them brothers to each other. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, to learn this and learn it quickly. Fly for your life to the refuge of Allah and come follow me. America lands being divinely curtained. The Holy Quran, Surah 13:41. See they not that we are visiting a land, curtain it of its size? And Allah hath pronounced a doom. There is no repeller of his decree, and his shrift and call into account. Black man in America, there is no one as blind as you are in seeing what is going on against America. I have warned you for nearly 40 years that Allah God and the personal Master Allah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, came to me and gave me the knowledge of the truth, and I have been preaching it to you continually. Now you see what is going on. As America has done, so now is being done unto her. America has surrounded the country of the people. She had blown their cities to pieces. She had killed the inhabitants. Those who was left alive, she put to flight, running from shelter, from destruction by America might. It is very sad and horrible to look at the things that America has done, which are now coming on this country. For many years, centuries of years, America have lived a luxurious, wicked life while hating her black slave and depriving them of justice, shooting them down on the streets, on the highways, in the woods and fields for nothing. She did it just because she felt that she had the advantage. And she wanted to kill black people as she was made to do. The Bible, Psalms chapter 10, verse 8. He sat in a lurking place, at a village, in a secret place. Do he murder the innocents? His eyes are set against the poor. Up until this very minute, she's seeking to destroy the black man in America, deprive him of freedom to do for self. America never desired a departure for the black slave from his white slave master. America wished only to hold the black slave in order to continue to treat him with evil. See, Pharaoh hatred, injustice to Israel and Egypt, in time of Moses, to serve America as a warning. But she had fallen headlong to the destruction of Allah, God. America runs to and fro, seeking way out. But she does not try to justify her black slave for justice and equality amongst the nation of the earth. America made us into nothing. She used us to mock us before the nation of the earth. But a God with unlimited wisdom, knowledge, power is now befriending the black slave. He has chosen the black slave to be his people. But the foolish black people have yet to come into that knowledge that Allah God is their best friend, and that he is here to save them from the destruction of a people who have shown evil and hatred to us all of our life. America divided us one against the other. The black man in America is so divided against each other that you seek all the time to do evil against each other. You cannot even befriend them lest they take advantage of it and call you a fool for trying to befriend them, as it was with us by Midway Technical Schools. See, Midway Technical Schools came to us for help, and we gave them that help to keep them from falling. It cost us $30,000 to set them free of their backments and other bills that they had. Take a look at how they had turned on us for the purpose of wrecking all of their beautiful businesses set up for them and others to enjoy on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. The fall of America foretold separation is the answer. The Holy Quran, Surah 81, 6, 7, and 12. And when the cities are set on fire, and when men are united, and when hell is kindled, the folding up is the title taken from the first verse of that chapter, in which the above verses are found. And when the sun is folded up, the Holy Quran, Surah 81, prophesies the folding up of a recorded work, a record of what people had done as it used would no longer be necessary. This chapter refers to what take place in the resurrection. One party is recorded as a beginning, while the other party is discontinued. We see this clearly being made manifest today. War caused the destruction of civilization. War destroys cities and towns of a nation. This chapter 81 of the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. The sun, the stars, mountains, camels, and wild animals all mentioned in the first 4 verses of this chapter are not without. Coming of God refers to, by the prophet, is to unite a people who had been divided against self by the enemies. He chose these people for building a better world. The Bible Revelation refers to destruction of a beast and its chief instructor, the dragon. The name beast given here is not referred to 4-foot animals, but to a people who rule is like that of a savage beast. The theologian, most of them, in the time of Martin Luther, who I think was the author of these terms, beast, dragon, especially the late Pastor Russell and Judge Rutherford, founder of Jehovah's Witnesses, take the term dragon to refer to the Pope, Rome, the father of the Christian church and the Christian religion. This is the first time since we have been lost in this part of the earth that we want to unite the black nation of the earth into one under the guidance of God who is now present. Why should the master continue to deceive his slave? He teaches the slave that he is a free citizen with equality. Why do you slave masters want to hold them for hostage prey? See, you do not need them. And machines do the labor that the slave used to do. Why not let them go? You want to go to war against Allah and the freedom that Allah came to do for you slave before you Pharaoh had that same idea? He did not want Israel to go free in the land to themselves. See, Pharaoh lost the war against Allah and was drowned in the Red Sea. The loser of this war will land in a lake of fire, not water. If white America wants to free her slaves, she can easily do so. This will be simpler and easier than what she is doing today, killing and provoking them through police force and National Guards, and finally the U.S. Army as we see in Detroit, Michigan. American actions show us two things. Firstly, she wishes to cause fear amongst the so-called Negro with a display of many deadly weapons. But Allah is moving to fear. Secondly, she fears to approach her armed slave unless she is armed. See, this has been historical relation between the white man and the slaves. So the white man seeks the leaderships of the so-called Negro to help keep the dissatisfied slaves subject to him without complaint about injustice. The white man would say, nigga, you should be happy. You are better off than many of the black kind with a job. The white slave master brought our fathers here to do the slave work. Our free laborers have made the white slave master richer than their brethren, Europeans. Did they offer us any of this land that they took from the Indians? The 22 million so-called Negro should be seeking some of this earth on which to live and build an independent nation out of self. So the white slave master only offers a job. Allah God has come, and the personal master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. To free us, the Negro slave must be free. This is the meaning of the resurrection. Allah God has says to Elijah Muhammad that he intends to free the American so-called Negro at any price. For 400 years, you slave masters have been killing the so-called Negro without receiving any resistance, see, and regardless of his peaceful way with you. We, the Muslims, have tried to live in peace here in America. There is not a single incident in 36 years of history where we have ever made an aggressive move against you, but you have attacked us several times. We have proved to the world that you are impossible to live with in peace. You have destroyed many towns, cities, and people. As you have divided the so-called Negro, one against the other. So Allah should divide you and your brethren. As you have done to others, so shall be done to you, the Bible. And when the cities are set on fire, it's a sign of the end of you as a power. The house doomed to fall See, we cannot deny the fact that this Christian race is responsible for this universal corruption in the land and sea. From the same corruption that their own hands had made will come their doom. The Christian preach that which they do not do and cannot do, such as love your neighbors. I have yet to meet one who loves his neighbor as did himself. Thou shalt not kill. I have yet to meet such a Christian. See, they even fight against each other. We see rob and kill each other, but yet represent themselves as world peacemakers with whom? See, the great deceivers of the world will reap what they have sown. Had it not corrupted many people and nations under discuss a good, peaceful, loving Christians? See, the Christian rest is full of the worst crimes. We see practicing evil to the fullest and seeking to practice them other nations as well. The universal temper are ever parading before the world. They bold have new girls and women. They are before your eyes. And almost everything we see. Murdering, gambling, robbery, drunkenness, drugs, adultery, lying. There's any end to it. We see that lands and seas are filled with deadly weapons of wars. We see that islands of the seas are filled with this corruption by all the nations of earth, for they are proud and boastful, and are now hated and despised it according to their wishes. We see that religion of Christianity is a curse to us, the black man, and we see is full of slavery teachings today. They have poisoned the Bible with they adding to and taken from the truth. Now their doom is in sight. It is their own work. They command the sea with their powerful navies, parking them off the sword of the nations. They secure the air base on their soils to place their deadly bombs carrying planes with an easy striking distance of those whom they fear to be the enemies. Is this not the easy way to make an enemy? Is this the act of a real Christian, the follower of Jesus, whom they preach came for peace of mankind and to teach the seeking of the sword and the turning of the other cheek? Where is a good Christian amongst this race? They love managing other people's affairs. They are ever fight a war, if it matters not with whom or where, but yet crying peace, peace, with every deadly weapons of war to provoke other nations to war. Shall not the God of peace and justice deal with you and your troublemaking as he did with those before you? I warn every one of you, my people, fly to Allah with me for refuge. As I warn you, the judgment of this world has arrived. Get out of the slave-making Christianity into the right religion of Islam. The house you are in shall surely fall and never rise again. You see, the destruction and fall of the world that we have known is now without a doubt and process. When we refer to the world, we are referring to the world of the white man, for the world of the black man has yet to come in. The world of the black man, by divine guidance, is now merging in on the old world of the right race. This makes the destruction and fall of the world of the white man. Here in America, we cannot see nothing but the fall of America. It is no secret. It is obvious to the eyes that are open. We want to close our eyes and minds and claim that we do not see and understand. Then we will be falling ourselves. This refuse to see is foolhardy, for regardless to how we may desire to see the old world stand, we do not have the power to starve off the destruction that causes the world of the white man to fall. The destruction and power that is bringing about the fall of the world of the white man is coming from Allah God. In the past history of the world, of the white man, there never was a time of destruction of his world like the present time. It is useless for you to try to prevent the fall of the white man's world. There is no checking it. The right race has not tried to do the right thing. Justice, the doing of justice, will have checked her fall. The Bible, Jeremiah. But America was never willing, and even at this hour, she is not willing to do justice by those whom she had mistreated. She had dealt injustice to her black one slave for nearly 500 years that she had been in the Western hemisphere. America have constantly burdened the poor black slave with every evil that can be imagined. Her evil scientists have invented more and more evil practice and not been able to invent any more evil than that which they have already put out. We see day and night, without a let up, the white man mistreat this poor black slave, and now since heaven and the God of peace, justice, and freedom and equality have come to this black slave, the white man is trying to make everyone that recognize the truth deviate from it. The white man says, do not accept it. See, he makes this black man a hypocrite against his own starvation. So the white man trailed the one who had not as yet accept the truth of their starvation. And he promised them that which he will never be able to fulfill. America is falling. She is losing the power and authority that she was enjoying in foreign lands. Her fall is very visible. Wherever her authorities had been exercising, the people are now crying out in one voice, leave us, leave us. American, go home to America. The citizens of other countries are telling the American citizens, leave us. America no longer have friends. America and England deposited little brother Israel on foreign soil. Y'all hit that like button and don't cost a thing. So we see America had deposited their own little brother Israel on foreign soil, the Palestinian, which Arab land. They deprived the Arabs of their own land and sent them into the exile. See, this injustice against the Arabs is now causing America the power and authority that she once exercised in the East. She is on her way out of the Near East. See, this means bloodshed and plenty of it in this time. We see in this Near East, there stand navies, which are neither American nor British. They are there to drive America out. The skies over there are beginning to thicken with foraging planes, carrying deadly weapons, guns, and bombs. They will not be satisfied as long as Israel is in Palestine. The boil has come to a bursting point. We are in a troubled world. We are in a world that is erupting. Now I got 25 you guys on. I got one like. Come on now. We are in a world that is erupting. Hit that like button and share this video. This is important. You're going to have to get your houses in order because Trump is signing a lot of things. He's signing a lot of executive orders. He's bringing a lot of cuts down. Public assistance housing and RIC and food stamps. What else he's planning to do? Because they know their time is short here. So black man who was once a slave in America, see, today you have a way of escape. See, the way out is now your own terms. It is on the condition that you submit to Allah and come follow me. See, the only way out is you submit to Allah, God. See, this is the only way out today. I am the door and I have the keys to your starvation. Reject it and die. See, we are in a world that is falling. It will soon be going up in flame. We see in Germany, The Cold War between East and West will soon erupt into a hot war. It will never be settled in peace. We see East and West, Germany must and will fight it out with all the deadly weapons that the war scientists have planned and perfect for the final showdown. You do not have to worry too much about whether or not America is coming out of Asia. Certainly America is coming out of Asia. The odds are against her staying there. But I warn you, my black people, my black brothers here in America, that while she's on her way home, we the black people are standing in a crossfire. See, the only hope that we have is to fly to our refuge in Allah God in such a time as this. Look at what is going on to the south of us. Look at many hijacked stick-up of planes. See, America is afraid to put a stop to the hijack, for she knows that she's going to run into more than she is expected. Who would have thought that this great big power of America would suffer such disgrace in this day and time? This is to teach you and me, black brothers, that the great power of America is becoming weak and she is falling. I said, black brothers, join to your own kind. Come follow me, for the world that you and I have known will soon be no more. So America is starting to weaken. And this is why these nations will capitalize when they start seeing her weaken. Her nation is weakening. She's falling. She's unraveling. So this is the day of America's downfall. We see Allah manifest this fall of America. He desired to make America fall as a warning to her brother. In Europe, we see white America and Germany, Allah has taught me, are the most wicked of the white race. Y'all smash that like button. This is an important video. Y'all need to share and smash that like button. Let's get this video into the YouTube algorithm. Hit that like button for me. It don't cost a thing. You see the wicked deeds that have been performed and are still being performed by white Americans upon the so-called Negro. The slave are the worst and animal of history. They have been clever enough in this wickedness to make the so-called Negro slave love them, though they are their open enemies and murderers. Allah and a personal Master Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, now judges the American whites and is causing America fall and total destruction. Egypt under Pharaoh is an example for fulfilling the signs and other prophecies of the doom of this people as foretold by the prophet from Noah to Jesus. Moses and Jesus are the most outstanding prophets in the history of the Caucasian race for the past 4,000 years. There are several others contemporary, but Moses and Jesus are the major prophets of the right race history. The whole of the civilized world today, as prophesied in Isaiah, is against the white man of America. Allah hates this wicked American whites and threatened to remove them from the face of this earth, since white America and the white race in general had deceived the entire world of black people and their brethren, brown, red, and yellow. Allah now is causing people to wake up and see this right race as it really is, the created enemy of the darker people. As we see today, there's a general awakening of the darker people to the knowledge of self and the knowledge of their age-old, 6,000-year-old enemy all over the earth. The American white race cannot sincerely give the so-called Negro, this lady, a square deal. She only desires to deceive them. See, false equality. Today, America is trying against the will to give the so-called Negro civil rights, which is against their very nature and will of the right race. For the first time since this black man had been here, America falsely offered him social equality in certain parts of the country. This social equality consists mostly of permitting the American black race to mix openly with the white man and his women, the devils. The actual idea, however, is to grant the so-called Negro social equality amongst the lower class of whites. This is done so that the scriptures wherein they prophesied that the white man tempts and corrupts the so-called Negro with his woman might be fulfilled. God has taught me that the right race was grafted unlike, and being unlike is able to attract the black man and black woman, getting them to do all evil known to the right race. One of the prophets the Bible prophesies in regard to America as the morning spread abroad upon the mountain, a great and strong people set and battle away. See Joel chapter 2, verse 2. This is the setting a nation for a showdown to determine who will live on earth. The survivor is to build a nation of peace to rule the people of the earth forever under the guidance of Almighty God, Allah. With the nation setting forth for a final war at this time, God plead for his people, the inheritors of the earth, the so-called Negro. The so-called Negro is the prey of the white man of America, being held firmly in the white man's powers, along with 2 million Indians who must be redeemed at this time, and will be if the so-called Negro turn to his Redeemer. So the problem of American black man is his unwillingness to be separated from his 400-year-old enemy. The problem, therefore, is harder to solve, especially with the enemy trying to fascinate the Negro with his lower class girls and women, arrayed partly nude before the Negro. In every public news, media, cheap daily newspaper and magazine, radio, TV, and the Negro is quick to intimidate. The problem between these two people is separation, the so-called Negro, so that they may be accepted and respected as equal and superior to other nations, must be solved. This is God's promise to the so-called Negro, the lost, found members of the original black nation of the earth. This promise was made through the mouth of his prophets, the Bible and Quran, that he will separate us from our enemies, identify and make us the master after this wicked race had been judged and destroyed for its own evil. But as I said, the solving of this problem, which means the redemption of a Negro, is hard to do since he loved his enemy. See the Bible, Deuteronomy 18:15, Psalms, Isaiah, Matthew 25:32, Revelation 14. The manifestation of Allah and the judgment between the so-called Negro, enemy of God, and the nation of Islam will make the so-called Negro see and know his enemy, himself, his people, his God, and his religion. Rejection of self. We hear the statements of black educational, political, and Christian classes which express their love for the white man, publicly asking to be his brother, if not his brother-in-law. Now this class wants to make it clear to the world that they really love the right race and not the black race. This means that they want to be right instead of black. See, the devil has made them hate black. They reject the thought of black ever being the ruler or equal with the ruler. That acts boldly from inferiority, not only for themselves, but for their people. They want to assert themselves in a kind, especially the so-called American Negro, and to erase of white people without ending the black race. It's just the opposite with Allah, God, myself, and my followers. We want out completely. We want no claim to kinship with a people who by nature are not our kin. Read from Genesis to Revelation in the Bible, and from Surah chapter 2 to Surah 114 of the Holy Quran. By no means are the so-called Negro and a white can. See, God did not create them brothers, nor did he create them to be ever become brothers. We see today one is creating enemy against each other. And since the righteous are more powerful than the wicked, we see Allah, God of the righteousness, has set a time of reckoning for an enemy, the right race of the righteous. We see separation. See, we want separation. We want a home on this earth today that we can call home. We want to go for self and lead the enemy who have been sentenced to death by Allah. We see Revelation 20, 10 and 14. From the day he was created. See this subject in the Bible and Quran. No one, white, black, brown, yellow, red, can prove to me by any scriptures of Allah God, sent by one of the prophets of Allah God, that we should not be separate from the right race, that we should believe and follow the religion, dictate, shape, and formed by the right race, theotican. The coming of Allah and the judgment of this wicked world is made clear by the propheted saying of the prophet, the so-called reverends, and the proud intellectual class are doomed to destruction with the enemy if they remain with him, instead of joining into Allah, who loved them, who would deliver them from the nation of Islam. The so-called Negro mask must be worn, and the great mistake that they make in following the leaderships of those who love and befriend their murderers. This will not get them freedom or civil rights. America is falling. Her doom have come, and none said the prophet shall help her in the day of her downfall. In the Bible, God plead with you to fly out of her, America, and seek refuge in him. Revelation 18, verse 4. It certainly will change your mind about fallen and doomed people, and people who hate you and your kind, and who call one who teach the truth about them a hater. They are the producer of hater of us. We are with God, the righteous. The days of trouble. We see the days of trouble have now come to us from Almighty God, Allah, the God who is the real owner of the heavens and earth. Allah, God, created from himself the heaven, and then he let it out to a forging right race for them to enjoy themselves in it for a while. They have proved it unworthy of such glorious creation. And now the God who is the owner of this heaven and earth is ready to take over and rule it for himself. Never no more, and I mean never no more, will the earth nor the heaven or earth be let out to non-owners. It is a great wisdom taught to us, and let new creatures, right race, try their knowledge of mastering that which they was not made to master, which we knew. And we made them that they would not be able to master the original creation for long. For as long as we, the black people, are the planet, there is no new creatures that could be put in order for ruling, that which we already have, and we are in it. It's such a wise piece of work that has been done. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the originator of this creation is just. See, there is no comparison anywhere to make. There is no such thing that the originator can put the planet side out of the hole and let someone else take over. See, this race, the right race, has not been successful in ruling according to their will, and according to a real owner. For the right race have to use the original materials that he himself has created. There is nothing of which this white man can call himself the creator. So therefore, since this white man continued to make trouble, which by nature he was made to do, We do not see any way out of trying to live with the white man in peace. The nature of the white man is ever causing unrest amongst himself and amongst us too. So the white man just cannot make peace for himself because of his nature. Today, God has decided that we, the black people, cannot get along with the white man in peace, and that the white man must be removed. The white race wants to remove us, the black people, but in order for the white man to remove us, the black man, he will have to remove the whole entire heaven and make the heaven abode anything like life. Then from abode, we have to just start all over again and create life. For life in the universe is life that we, the black people, have established it. Therefore, to get away from our own life, which was created by the black man, so that a new life could come in, we will have to rid the space of life, which belonged to us, the black man. And when the space was rid of life that we, the black people, have created, another one will have to create life of his own making. We, the poor black people here in America, must be changed into a new and different people altogether. So Allah God came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me. But now the complete make of us, we will be renewed from what we are in now. And we call it a new thing. There will come a day when we, the black people, will have a complete new thing. For man and earth and the heaven above us. But according to the scientists, God will cause this to go into a new thing. Not a complete destruction of the old, where there is no root to grow something from, not this time. The thing that Allah God would like to do now and will do is to destroy the work of the devil, as the devil would like to destroy God's work, which God has created. The devil cannot destroy God's creation because the devil has no part in the creation of the first creation. And since the devil has no part in the first creation, this makes the devil unable to lay hold to the power that will destroy the first work of God. The main thing which I keep mentioning enough to make you discuss is something for this black man in America, who has spent his life long and sleeping in ignorancy of the knowledge of that which he is in. But as soon as the black man can awaken to the knowledge of this that he is in, then he can lay hold to that which he did not have knowledge of, which is that the black man is the creator of the first creation. Allah God wants to put this black man back into power. The way the black man can be put back into power is Allah has to make this black man all over again to master power after giving the black man the authorities. Look at the poor, once peaceful black man in America. Look how he strives to reach for himself. He is now making a fast progress in that which God leaves for him to understand. His black man conversation has changed. The black man way of thinking has changed. His actual physical form has changed. It's a great thing that have come to this black man in America. So the black man in America is getting happier and happier. It's not hard for this black man in America to get rich. But he's getting rich from his own wisdom. See, no one have given him anything. As the Bible teach you of the son. See, no one gave into him, but he's getting rich so fast that God has chosen the son to become the head of the house that he has to stray away from. See, the future of the black man is so beautiful that we can hardly comprehend it. The biggest thing that stand before us is qualification and readiness. Let us get qualified to master the house that God has given to us before someone tried to rob us of that master in the house. If they rob us of the master in the house, I'm sorry for us. I said to you, black brothers and black sisters, do not be foolish. The kingdom of heaven will be given to you and to me. Have patience to receive it. But to get the house into our service is like a mother giving birth to a baby. The baby must mature in that which he is in. As the baby mature in the womb of the mother in order to be born, so the black man must mature to be born into a new world that the black man must build himself. See, these are the days of trouble. pledged by God, America is doomed. With the end of the rule of the white race over the black people of the earth in sight, face to face, we have to deal with each other according to the actual facts which exist between the two nations, black and white. The nature desire of the white race to continue their rule, suggestion of the darker people, even though the white man recognized the facts, he will continue to try to hold on to his rule, his suggestion, his thinking of what he has inquired under such rule, that which is his. He cannot give up the prey, his concession, the merchandise which he has fallen out from under the nose and eyes of the real owners, black man. He is willing to shed the blood of his own people and that of others to hold into that which he called his legal possession. The spirit of rose in the black man says no, that the continent and what is on and under its surface belong to him and his people, black nation. The spirit and knowledge is now not only confined to Africa and Asia, the black, brown, and yellow people, but it actually is now arising in the American so-called Negro, the true lost and found brothers of the black man throughout the earth, whether it be Africa or Asia, he is the brothers of them all. It is desire of the white race to continue to hold power and authorities over black Africa, where it is elsewhere. They will just have to give it up. We see England, Germany, and Italy, France, and especially England, France, and Stelton, Germany, seem to be diehards. The white man will be acting wisely if they will realize that one day, sooner or later, they must pack up and leave. Wherefore, I quote, the Bible prophesies concerning the separation of nation again today, as it was before. See, every man must go to his own. See, this is the clearest and most direct justice that God and man could agree upon. The white man cannot live in luxury unless he has the black man in his place of possession and his suggestion to his will. But as I repeatedly says in this paper and all of my writings, you cannot make God and his prophet liars, nor can we reverse the time of the prediction in which these things will take place. So the time have come. This is nothing but justice, that we have possession of what is our own. The white man is conscious of the fact that he had deceived the black man of the knowledge of the black man in his possession. But that particular authority was given divinely temporarily. But by the same divinity, it is now being taken from the white race. The white race is facing doom because she will not act according to justice and righteousness, which was not by nature put in her. But this is known, and her race is frightened concerning her future, as we see here in America. The white race recognize this coming doom, and many of them will rather die here than go elsewhere outside of America to try to defend what they call their own independent servitude. Some have poured gasoline over themselves and committed suicide by setting themselves on fire. This is a very new and open act of a people who want every other people, black, brown, yellow, and red on earth, to fight their wars and to save their independency. A ruthless and brutal people like America, England, and Germany should be ashamed in this modern time to look for these people whom they have robbed, killed, murdered, and brought under force, to think that today they should be so soundly asleep that they ignore the time and authority that they can unite as Europeans have been doing against black Africa and brown and yellow Asia. As the book says to the right race, as thou hast done, so shall be done to you. The white man must return to Europe and concentrate on that continent for his future, or else concentrate on his death instead of his life, for they can no longer rule the black man. The black man now knows where his home is, and he is now rising up to take possession of that which is his. America doomed fear. Allah and the person of Master Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, for finding and offers to sit us in heaven at once, our submission to him entirely. We fear the doom of America that is now cutting her to pieces. The prophecy teaches us that her doom will come in one day. Death, mourning, came in one day. One day means 1 year. Even after that, she should be burned with fire. Divine prophecy is that America will suffer isolation from the nation of the earth. The revelation of John of the Bible prophecy of America's doom. America is spoken of under the savage name of a beast and dragon who will oppose the messenger of God and all those who seek to follow him. Beast, dragon are the name used to represent America because of their nature and their characteristics of this people, evil and haters of his black once slaves. The beast dragon trails women seeking to destroy the messengers and his followers, the new convert. See, the messenger of Allah is referred to as a woman with a newborn baby, with a victorious beast like enemy trailing her, the messenger of God, everywhere that he goes. The beast does this to prevent the messengers and his followers from making progress and making friends with his own black people who will help the messengers to convert and unite his black people, not only in the United States of America, but the whole world of the black nation. To unite and fly out of our enemies who seek to destroy and kill you and me night and day does not just mean leaving America, but it means also to lead the ideologically and all that America represents. And the nation Europe and Asia stood far away off for fear of her burning the USA, for fear of a divine pledge. To you, my black people, the end is now. Who said that you were going any place? Heaven and hell are both a condition of life. They are not places. So the devil make hell for you. God in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, makes heaven for you and me. America has her own doom. The ultimate aim of this world should be known to everyone, especially the righteous. We are classified the righteous as being the people who belong to the right God, the God of righteousness, truth, freedom, justice, and equality of the nation of righteousness. Today, the so-called American Negro must be resurrected and made to know and understand the fate of anyone who will follow or be deceived by the arch deceivers. The strongest and most powerful weapons the arch deceiver have at their disposal is to deceive the world of righteousness, the nation of Islam. They do not stop at the common ignorant Muslims, but reach also for the scholars and scientists of Islam. You should be aware of their trickery and deceits. We are in a world that is passing out of existence, and she is putting up a fight war to destroy the nation of righteousness. Be aware to try to oppose the success of Allah's truth only hasten their doom or falsehood and its teachers. The world evil makes its first attack on the world of righteousness, thereby clearly showing herself as being the enemy of righteousness. When she thinks she has built up a strong enough force to attack the righteous, she does so, which I have said before, has her own doom. Falsehood cannot be victorious over the truth, and the days of truth. The resurrection is a day of truth. See, the resurrection is a day of truth as a trumpet over falsehood. The arch deceiver forced war against himself. Ultimate aim is to do as the people always have done, to try to destroy the preachers of truth, those who believe, who follow him. See, this was the aim of Cain when he slayed his brother Abel, and the aim of the dragon when he sought to destroy the woman, the messenger, as it is written, Revelation chapter 12, verse 4. The lost found members of that nation should be taught to know the ultimate aim of this world. God has visited them and has prepared a teacher in myself to teach them, thereby making it easy for them to understand and recognize this world and its secret ultimate aim. It is even given in the Bible Revelations 12:9. There it speaks of the members belonging to the righteous nation and shows that through deceits, Satan calls them to become as himself against his truth, peace, justice, safety, security one, who would enjoy if he only was not deceived it. Under deceits, see the weak minded who had no understanding or knowledge of the art deceivers. The devil, Satan, are made prey in the hands of the art deceivers. This will bring about war as a showdown between the God of righteousness and the God of unrighteousness, the devil. It already has begun. God must fulfill his promise to show himself as God over all the power of heaven and earth and man on earth, as it is written, Thessalonians chapter 2:9. He comes after the working of Satan. See, Satan had been given the power, knowledge, and authorities to deceive as many as he could before the appearance of God, or the universal manifestation of the appearance of God. He was given this power in the beginning according to chapter 2 and 7 of the Holy Quran and according to the Bible. In Genesis 1:26, we see Revelation 6:4 and 8, and Revelation 12, chapter 3 and 4. We have known all our life that the devil was a great deceiver, an enemy of God, and that he wished to be the victorious with his knowledge of superior art in deceiving the people of God. He desired to cast them down, disgrace them, and make them accept his deceits for the very face of God and the general resurrection of the dead. The so-called American Negro, as I had repeatedly taught in my article, sermon, and lecture to my people, are spiritually dead. They have been touched and paralyzed to death by the art deceiver through his missionary teachings, his literature, personal conversation, and by accepting his advice. God has given to me a very strong and unbeatable truth that will defend, protect, and prevent you from falling victims to the art deceiver. Read these and treasure them. They are your life. Ignore them. It is your death. The great days, the terrible days of God. We must not forget how we are warned by prophecy for 100 years and for 1,000 years that the end must come to his world. The ruler of this world must be removed, and a crown must be taken off and placed upon another head, and they will rule in justice and righteousness. The people of this world have now become so wicked and so fearful of the consequences of their own rule until the almost thoughtless vision is gone, and the fearfulness has taken hold of the people. The heads is going to and fro to the nation of the earth to find a way of peace between the heads of the nation. A great time, a terrible sometime, a terrible time. The hearts of the people are beginning to weaken and to fail because of what is going on and what they see is coming. American people have lived so rich and so joyfully in wickedness, murder, robbery, and hatred of one another until they have hardened their hearts so much that they are made to think that they can make friends and live on with those upon whom they have no mercy. They crushed all the weak nations of the earth with their powers and brought them into the clutches of slavery. They forced other nations to bow. They pushed the borders around the earth as the kings did in his day and time. But in those days, the king boasts. Let's think over. We see England made that same boast. See, England used to boast that the sun did not set on her empire. Take a look at England today. There is no British empire for the sun and moon to set on. This morning, May 30, 1972, the radio news announcer says that they found mines in the Chicago River. It makes it altogether more frightening. For if a mine should blow a ship up in the city limit, it would be dangerous to the life of the people. Just think over this. The Chicago River runs through the downtown section, Chicago, Illinois. No one wants to frighten the people more, but the frightening of the people sometimes does good. See the great days, we see the terrible days. See, people are just being shot down on the streets, right in their homes, or while walking the streets. See, they are blown down as though their life are nothing. See, the great days, the terrible days. America dreaded destiny. American people had been here, according to history, since a few years after Columbus, the explorer. She had conquered the Red Indians, the original owners of the land, who she found here and took it for a home for herself and kind. She has continued conquering until her conquering powers have gone around the earth, affecting every civilized nation's submission to her will. She's successful in forcing other nations to bow to her will, whether they like it or not. Now it is the hands of God which is after America to force her into submission, a hand from which we have no defense, as it is written and prophesied in the Bible under the name of Babylon. Jeremiah 51:25. Behold, I'm against you, O destroying mountain, said the Lord, which destroy all the earth. I'll stretch out my hands upon you and roll you down from the rock, and will make you a burnt mountain. Jeremiah 51:53 says, though Babylon shall mount up to heaven, and though she shall fortify the heights of her strength, yet for me shall spoils come into her, said the Lord. America is under a destruction similar to that of ancient Babylon. In the Bible, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Revelation of John prophesies concerning her. Babylon, they're mentioned as a future Babylon, and that Babylon of the past. America has enslaved all of the so-called Negro, and her evil mistreatment of them is similar to ancient Babylon, enslavement and mistreatment of the Jews, according to the scriptures. It took the hands of God to bring the kings of Babylon and his people into submission to the power of God. He brought the surrounding kings and their powers against ancient Babylon and their pride, the heights of her glory, the handwritings on the walls, the casting it down, and his followers into the fierce furnace, making drunk the people of God with their strong wine, then mocking them. So has America done to the so-called Negro. America makes him drunk with wine, whiskey, and beer, and then laugh at him. She put him into the fierce furnace, burned him at the stake, while sitting around with her family, drinking intoxicant drinks and laughing at the burning flesh of God's people. There is no justice whatsoever, as Revelation gives it. She made all the world drink of the wine of her fornication. But the end is coming to such evil doing. America have lived in peace so far as forging war is concerned. She had destroyed other people and in towns and cities. She had leveled them to the ground. She's still prepared to do the same with her great stockpiles. She says she have enough bombs and destructive weapons to destroy all human beings on the face of the earth 3 times and still has some left. Of this she boasts. But Allah God has said to me that he would destroy America and bring her to her knees in humiliation. The destruction sent to ancient Babylon, recorded in the Bible, is the answer to most of what he has said to me would come upon the now rich America. Rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. These weapons all belong to God. America, how do you fight an army like this? The 4 mentioned weapons of Allah God cannot be ignored. The whole year had been a year thou far of Allah God, pleasure America day and night. With storms, we see rain, flood, killing and destroying properties. And now the coming winter, hail have been falling. In some places, the size of golf balls, baseballs, and footballs. The rain continued to fall in place, and a dreadful snow blizzard is now in the working. Cold wind is blowing in the north to come against America, as it is written and prophesied. We see in Job 38. 23, have you entered into the treasure of the snow? Or have you seen the treasures of hell, which I have reserved against this time of trouble, against this day of battle and war? Earthquakes are now again to be recognized, touching America lightly. But nevertheless, they are here with all of her well preaching of Christianity. She had not been a good Christian herself. As Jeremiah says, arise, get you up into this wealthy nation that dwelt without care, said the Lord, which had neither gate nor bars, which dwelt alone. This corresponds to America. She lives situated between the two greatest bodies of the water of the earth, the Atlantic and the Pacific. She is very careless. She rejoices in her evil and filth as though she is self-protected from the divine hands of God. Jeremiah 50:31 prophesied, behold, I'm against you, most proud, said the Lord God of hosts, for your days is come, the time that I'll visit you. Allah God is visiting America with great destruction, which he has to pour upon the wicked America. After the mistreatment of the so-called Negro for 400 years, she desired now to deceive them, to cause them to suffer with her, to share her doom. Jeremiah 50, verse 6, my people have been lost sheep. The shepherd hath caused them to go astray. The white and black preachers of Christianity have turned them away on the mountain and have gone from a mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place, their native people and country. Jeremiah 57, all that found them hath devoured them. And their adversary says, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. Since the white man had made the so-called Negro as wicked as a person as himself. Now these are the words that he speaks. They are just as evil as we. So therefore Allah guides against them too. The so-called Negro repeats the same and says the white man is no worse than the so-called Negro. The white man had opened all of his doors and avenues of temptation to lure the Negro in for total destruction. Again, we have a warning to be a people with whom God is angry, as the people of ancient Babylon was warned to do. Jeremiah 51:45. My people go out of the midst of her and deliver every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. All of the pledged destruction and judgment which America is seeing, God used to destroy the wicked and disobedient from the time of Adam until this day will be brought upon America. Then she will be burned with fire. This is the time of trouble that shall bring America into insanity. The dreadful times of America. America, especially North America, have entered into a time that was predicted by Moses and the prophet between him and Jesus. In this 24th chapter of Matthew, there's a prophecy made by Jesus of the present time of America without mentioning her name. He refers to the country as the world, because this part of the earth is referred to in many places by the prophet and by Jesus himself as a wilderness. The name America is not yet 500 years old, so the prophet referred to it as a wilderness and a prophecy. It is terrific. I use the word terrible because it's not a thing that can be described as something mild or something that is moving slowly, nor something can be recognized so easily by the common people. It is clear to all. You can see that America has reached the stage about which she always has been warned. She always has wanted to keep it a secret because of her so-called Negro slave. She never desired for the slave to know too much of what was in store for her. because of enslavement and mistreating her slave. She has reared them for the past 400 years, and she knows them. She knows how they think and how they react to her teachings. And she knows the fear of her. She knows the slave, but the slave do not know America, the slave master. The, dread, the dreadful and awful day's doom is now in the door and window of America, and of the church, the religion of America. As long as we were safe, because it is one of the most deceiving and upright, misleading religions of the world. Allah God taught me that if carefully examined, everything in the religion of Christianity is designed to make slaves out of black people. If Christianity was a wet rag and wrung out, we see every drop of right, slavery for the black man. See, the world knows this now, but the spiritually blind, deaf, dumb American so-called to whom I'm calling and appealing to reason. I'm calling them to reason with me on the truth and their own salvation that is now in truth of self and kind are the enemy of self. There will not be an end to the carcasses between black and white America and throughout the world until wrong, evil, murdering, deceiving, robbing the poor black man of the earth is destroyed, and righteousness and justice are practiced. This is the day of God Almighty to set up justice and equality throughout the earth. He is to free the black man, the American so-called man, from his deceitful, evil, and murderous enemies. America wished to oppose Allah God in this work of bringing justice and freedom for one slave. But this is just what Allah God wants. Allah wants America to attack him to get the fight started, bring his judgment against her with the fullness of his strength and power. America is bringing about the political gloom. Here, the politicians are unable to carve out a future for America. The plan of deceiving the so-called politicians to work against their own freedom, justice, and equality, starvation that Allah God has brought to them is making the so-called in high office become the enemy of his own people, freedom, justice, and equality. Such office are held out as a bribe to get black politicians to work against the spread of the truth of their starvation. They are happy, and the boss know that they are, to have it placed near him in such office just for the purpose of trying to oppose Allah and his messengers and freeing the poor black people who is in the mud. This is causing the political confusion and complete destruction of the house divided against itself. I'm asking in the name of Allah that the American governments agree on the separation of our one slave and their master. Of course, Allah God is significant. We want a home on this earth we can call home. We do not want to be slave anymore to white people. We do not want to be free Uncle Tom for white people. We want to do something for self and go for self. However, America, with her blind, deaf, dumb politician and class of the so-called Negro, will bring a swift destruction upon their heads, along with the doom that is inevitable against the enemy. It is not 20 years in the future, nor 15 years. Let no one deceive you. It is here at our doors now. The dreadful pledges and confusion of America are beginning to boil. And the few making it boil will not increase until it boils down to the last dregs. See, the present promise of a better future that America is making to the so-called Negro will prove to be false. And all of her false promise to the American so-called Negro will be short life by both, because the time of her doom has approached. So America will have to do a marvelous thing of justice, a square deal to turn it back. A fastening show or tempting a nigger to filth and evil will not work. It takes justice to work to postpone the dreadful days of America. America lost a war. Friendship is speeding her doom. The lube before the storm. I'm afraid for you that you will receive what the people before you did receive. See, Allah God is very angry with America and the trichology that she has used on the dead to keep them dead. You are very disappointed to Allah God and to the original black people who know himself, a very few, of course. The false show of a glorious future that the wicked is putting on is at hand. We must remember Daniel's prophecy that at the end of the war, desolation are determined. But before this happened, Allah God will bless the people with a good time as he did the people of the past, who roamed themselves and who did not pay attention to the prophet one amongst them. Allah God destroys them. They thought that they were fooling Allah God, but Allah God surprised them. He makes the people rejoice for a short time with a sure great prosperity. And at the heights of their great prosperity, suddenly he destroys them. This is the merciful law that America will see that Allah has put in nature. Allah God let a dying person rally before the end. See, America is going to do the same. We see America will rally and people will think that she is going to have a great future. And then the end will come in that kind of time. America end will not come while she is going around with her head hanging down, her heart itching and failing because of the things that are coming on her nation. No, she will be made to enjoy good times. See, the stock markets are going up and lots of shares being sold. This make any man thinks that everything is all right. This is only a lube before the storm. And the Bible warns America of what happened before her. See, ancient Babylon enjoyed full ruling position at her time. King Darius came against her at the time of her full enjoyment of wealth, drunkenness, and her laughing at the slave that she had made of Israel. See, King Darius came with his armies and overcame the sleeping guards who were sleeping on the security of their life. The Bible prophesies the enemy will say, "Come, let us go up and destroy her whose city is not fenced in." And they may come from afar. They may come at noonday, or they may come at the rising in the morning or in the afternoon. But nevertheless, they will come at a time that you thought not. At the end of the war, into the end of the war, you see desolation are determined, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. We see Daniel 9:26 and 27. I want you to know that that will be poured means it is the devivation of you, America, of you ever getting back into this power again to attack the nations of the earth. Europe will become one of the worst war areas of all the world, more dreadful than Vietnam and other places that you are planning on going into. See, Asia will look like child's play when compared to what is going to happen in Europe. The prophet says, "Whom to the land that shallow with rings." This means America, whose sky is filled with plains. Most of all of the judgment and trouble which are pointed at in the Bible are pointed at America. Study them for yourself. America, right up today, with all of her battles with her outside enemies, never loses sight of the inside of her poor old black slave. She does not want him to do anything. She wants him to be deceived. She does not want him to accept his starvation. That Allah God's offered this black one slave here in America. Allah God's offering the black one slave heaven at once. This he hath proven to everyone that believes in Allah, God, and follow me. I am the door. By no means can you get by except you come by me. Prayers will not be heard unless my name is mentioned in them. I'm saying that you cannot get a prayer through to Allah God unless you mention me in your prayers. Try it and see. I'm satisfied that those who know this will bear me witness. I have the keys to your salvation and I have the keys to your hell. I can if you just let me pull you out of hell and set you into heaven. Then I can keep you in heaven, or I can keep pushing you and push you into the punishment of hell. Till you acknowledge that there is no God but Allah. Came in the person, Master Falad Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. And that Elijah Muhammad is his servant. There is no escape for you today. See, the only way is through me is through Allah God. Me first, you cannot get to Allah God without getting to me first. The lube before the storm. See, America is trying with all of her might to hinder you from getting into heaven. See, America makes promises to you. She makes promises to me, but she does not intend to fulfill them. Some America financial promise to loan us millions of dollars, but when it comes time to do so, they vanish. But a day will come when we will be able to do the same things to them. It is entirely up to them to make good this day for themselves and their people by submitting to the truth themselves, as the Bible says, the Gentiles shall come to the light of your rising. America wants to destroy God and me, and she wants to destroy you by deceiving you against following me. America lift up all my hypocrites and advise you to follow them, while she knows that you will be the losers. Look what she has done for Malcolm. See, America named universities after him in order for you to follow Malcolm. See, Malcolm turned from Allah, God, and me and started to follow them. America will lift up any one of you that will disobey Allah, God, and myself, come to them. See how they are doing. Everyone that's a hypocrite to Allah, God, and me. America will raise him up for you to follow. See, America will glorify his name. See, Malcolm was no lover of white people when he lies to them in order to get a chance to fight me. But he was not a lover of them. See, Malcolm was a double crosser. He tried to get to me with their help, as it is written, prophesied that he would do. His name is not written there in the name of Malcolm. In history, another name is used, but his work is there in the history of the hypocrites and the life of Muhammad. He tried to take advantage while Muhammad was sick. You find this in the writing of Washington Irving and even some scientist writers of Islam could tell you Malcolm history. But enemy fools you. He did not like Malcolm, but Malcolm working against me, he used Malcolm. They knew that Malcolm had learned the history of me. He was not able to change it. And even the enemy will glorify them. They will come to a nothing. But the time as ruling power over black people is up. They knew that better than Malcolm did. They set up for worship all hypocrites against me. Suppose we will worship China and Russia against them, but we do not worship them. For Allah, God is most significant, more significant than all their nations. Allah, God does not see them as a power and force against him. They are so little and weak in their powers. They cannot fight against Allah, God, and win. The more you fight against Allah, God, the more you will lose yourself. From the Bible and from this chapter and from now on, if you do not know that he is tricking you by making you to follow hypocrites, it is your doom. Just watch it. He trails me. He goes down to Bahamas and everywhere that he thinks that I'm going or where I have been. See, this is written. Do not fault him for doing what is written of him. I tried to do that which is written of me. I do not fault him for what he is made by nature to do, nor should he fault me for what by nature I am. But I fault you if you let this little transgressor of this life, an enemy, deprive you of a great future for yourself. We can buy hospitals in place to educate and train our peoples into this superior education of the nation of the earth. But you'd rather give your money over to white Americans and let them spend it on what they want to. And they pay you a little interest. We offer interest too, the highest interest. But you do not trust us. So we were built right along without your help. We are going to be the winners. It is prophesied that we who believe will be the winners. And my work that was prophesied to me before I was born, you see it today. Try and find a successful one who is working in opposition to me. See, none of you who are trying to aid the devil against me will be successful in doing so. The devil knows that. He is not trying to do these things himself, only with you. He knows that he will not be successful in stopping my progress, not him, nor several times his number. As long as I'm with Allah God and is with me, and that will be all the days of my life. Fire fed with fuel. The subject of this chapter is taken from the Holy Quran, Surah 85, verse 5. See, we do not hope for peace as long as we add to the war, that which serve as a fuel to a fire. The fire cannot go out as long as we keep it burning by adding more fuel. A dying burn fire is increased, more fuel is thrown into it. There are lots of people who are so anxious for peace so that they can return to committing that which they lack in love, idling, sport, and play. The world that we live in desire, first of all, to hide the truth, to keep the black man who is made blind, deaf, and dumb by this scientific trigonometry of the right race, so that the right race can continue to carry on the same deceiving and wickedness that they have been practicing. How can we expect peace when the method used to bring about peace is the same method that started the war? Instead of finding the right solution and then practicing the right solution. I said these things for the sake of my own black people, for they are so ignorant to the knowledge of the truth of the time in which we are living. What they would like to do cannot be done. For the time to even continue to do what you are doing is up. We must remember again the protection of the Bible. It had foretold these times. If we understand the Bible, it must attain teach us that there is no peace for this wicked. There is no people who preach such a thing as peace, as being true followers of the prophet Jesus, as much as the right Christians do. See, day and night the airways are full of their preaching. To hear them, you will think that they are the prophet Moses and Aaron, as the word Jesus put it. See, they sat in Moses' seat. See, the white Christians are great deceivers. See, the Pope of Rome cannot bring peace to the Christian church, for he is not enjoying peace himself. So who is that people then that the Bible prophesies of in the book of Isaiah? That he would extend peace to them like river. Sure, it cannot be the present Christian right race, for they are the ones who are breaking the peace. See, fire fed with fuel. See, leaving your own homes and country to go to another man's home and country to make war for that people. It didn't accuse that people of being the troublemaker. It is the attacker who is guilty of that which falls the attack. I said to you, my black people, you can get away from that old misunderstanding of the time. You are not living in a time in which you may be expected a settlement, a war that will give you what you have already been used to: sport, play, and foolishness. Actually, now is the time that you and I should be wise enough to understand that we should think for self and do for self. If you do not know how to do for self, you should follow the man to whom Allah God has given that knowledge to teach you how to do for self. With the ocean filled with the fleets of the right Christian and the sky crowded with the death dealing planes over other people's territories, could you tell them that they should submit to you for peace? If you are able to force them to their knees or to destroy them, then I say yes. If that was the situation, then I would say that they should submit and let you trumpet. But you cannot force them to their knees. They have been preparing for a war like this for nearly a century. What I should say that they have been preparing and working faithfully for half a century to entertain the attacker with the same type of weapons and better weapons than the weapons you are attacking them with. If you resort to worse weapons, they have worse weapons also. So we are in a time when arguments to the country of peace is like heaping fire. It keeps it burning. We are living in an evil time, my brothers and sisters. I believe, and maybe many hundreds of thousands believe as I do. The President of the United States of America have good intentions towards citizens of America when he took over the presidency. Times against him. For the past 4,000 years and more, Allah God has already given the prophet through the mouth of his prophets, or the doom of the wicked. Now is the time. We cannot do anything but take it. It's a danger to add fuel to unwanted fire. See, the fire is the war.